good night, ladies. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Let me not take for granted that I'm in a room full of women because I know some of your husbands watch with you, and I've been gone for a minute, so who knows who's watching now. But good night, good evening, good morning, depending on what side of the world you're on. I'm happy to be back. I'll start there. I'm happy to be back. Welcome into the room. For those of you who are new here, let me pull up the comments. If you're new here, let me just let you know this is an interactive space. This is a space for you to talk to me, for me to talk to you. This is not just for me to come and teach and talk at you. Um, I am in New Orleans, so I'm rocking the big hair right now. I don't know what possessed me to decide that I wanted to press out my hair. And it's like probably the rainiest week of the year, but we rocking with it because it's giving inches. Okay. We are rocking with it. But I haven't been around for a minute. Hey, Gabby. I haven't been around for a while because I reached a point, and I say this to my clients all the time. I haven't been on social media, which is neither here nor there. I see that y'all been doing a lot. The world has been doing a lot. But what I say to my clients all the time is that your message will test you, your work will test you. Whatever it is that you say you're here to do, it's going to test you. And I personally reached a place where I needed to pour back in and recalibrate myself and get back into this mode of receiving. And so that is what I have been doing. And I feel amazing. I have been getting coached. I have been going through several programs and processes. I have been learning, I've been researching, I've been diving deeper into my spirituality. I have been making pancakes and actually we have some cinnamon roll dough going right now with my children. And that's really what, when I look back over 2020, 2021, those are the things that I was saying, man, I really wish I had more time to do the things that I used to do. And so I've been really feeding my inner child, feeding my actual children, and just enjoying life, enjoying time offline at least, because like I said, I have been fully engaged with my clients and in my community. I just haven't been in the social media world. But y'all called me down out the mountain. Y'all really did. I I have seen like a lot going on. I've seen a lot of things happening legislatively, lots of things happening in society. But for myself, one of the things that I try to always do when a lot is happening in the world is to get very, very still and quiet in my inner world. And so I call it going up into the mountain. That is sacred time for me. I think one of the light bulbs just went out. Husband. That is sacred time for me. When the world is in chaos and going crazy, I find my sacred space by disconnecting and unplugging and really getting clear on how I really feel about things. What is moving me, what steps I want to take next. So that's where I've been, and that is what has been going on for me. Um, it's been a journey. Like the last, I think I posted on April 1st. It was April 1st. It was my baby boy's birthday. And I said, I feel this urge to step away from social media. I thought at the time it was going to be 30 days. And the Lord was like, nah, or the spirit was like, we got some stuff we need to catch up on. And so it's been an interesting thing to see all that's happening and also be in this powerful, powerful place of decision. Um, this powerful place of, I know what I have going on. I know who run things over here. And so, yeah, I am energized to bring that back to women. I'm energized to bring that back into the coaching world in a way, but I really feel like I won't be coaching in the same way for much longer. So I'll say the creative world to bring that back into my space of creativity, my space of connecting with you all, and just if I can at all help you to stand in your power with the way that the world is going next, because that's what's going to be so important is women especially, but also men who are willing to stand up in your power, who are willing to say, this is what I got going on over here, bump what y'all got going on over there, honestly and truly. Because I'll tell you, this is one of those memes. You know what they say? I don't even know I don't know what I'm doing either. They don't know what they're doing either. So so get your plan together for you and yours. But with that said, Gabby said, period. Y'all are funny. But with that said, I'm going to say hello to the room. Kenyatta said, "Good night. We're glad you're back." I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see y'all. There's been so much that's happened for me to comment on, but tonight I'm going to talk specifically about this submission situation and my thoughts on it. Um, if you've been around for a while, you know how I'm coming. If you haven't, hi, how you doing? I am Yaya. I'm Yaya Smith. I'm the wife of a wonderful, wonderful man who we have had this conversation a zillion times over the course of our relationship. And we recently just brought it back up as we were listening to the podcast. I'm the mom to four beautiful children who are homeschooled. Um, in this time off, we celebrated the 10th anniversary of our first home birth, which was my second son's 10th birthday. That was about a little bit over a week ago. Um, so yeah, so in this time that I've been gone, we've celebrated three home births because we've had three home births, and all three of our home birth babies were April and June. But anyway, so I have a lot to say about marriage. I have a lot to say about the Black family and healthy Black relationships specifically. I don't only work with Black people and Black women, but most of my clients are women of color. Most of my community is women of color. And that's where I have the most expertise in really deeply understanding, navigating success together, navigating transition and change and transformation and loss and all of those things together, and holding a family together, holding yourself together as a woman, in a healthy way, not in a way that is ignoring your emotions or ignoring your needs, but in a way that truly feeds your soul and feeds your legacy. So, with that being said, um, if you did not watch the Lovers and Friends podcast or listen to the episode where Sham Booty interviewed, uh, Watch Jazzy is her Instagram name. I think Jasmine Wilson might be her government name. I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Please don't quote me on that. But I know her as Watch Jazzy. You may know her as Watch Jazzy. She's an actress. She is a comedian. Um, I've seen her stuff online for years. Some of it I've agreed with, some of it I have not. But she is now in a relationship with Cam Newton. And the name of the episode was I Baby My Man and It Works for Us. I baby my man and it works for us. The topic of conversation was, is the art of submission lost? Is the art of submission lost? I'm going to assume that the focus was for women of color because both of the women in conversation were women of color. And because we as women of color have heard this conversation be beat to death over the last decade or so. Do Black women know how to be submissive? Do Latino women know how to be submissive? submissive? Are these women more submissive than these? Well, all the things, okay? And so what Watch Jazzy was saying is that he babies her man. She believes in being a submissive woman to her man, and she believes that being a submissive woman means that you do everything for your man. You are able to read his mind, any need that he could possibly have. You are the person who is taking care of those needs. Um, Basically, that. Um, and so first, I'll kind of start with the fact that submission can be an art if you are taking it as, your own perspective. Anybody can make it look how they want to make it look. That's true. But to submit is not an art, it is exact. There is an exact definition of submission, and that is to release and relinquish your will to the authority of another person, or yourself to the authority and will of another. So that's where we're gonna come from. All right. Because as I was listening to the podcast, a few things came up for me. One of the first things, and this is, I think, if we're starting a conversation on submission and it's an inclusive conversation about submission, as I was listening, she said that she is a submissive woman. And then she said, I am a submissive. And we all grown here. I hope y'all put y'all babies to bed. My babies are in bed. A submissive woman and a submissive are two different things. A submissive is a part of a lifestyle, an alternative lifestyle, but a lifestyle. And so if that is what she is saying, I am a submissive and I do whatever my man tells me to do, that's a different conversation. But if we are talking about being a submissive woman or a submissive partner in a relationship, then that's not being a submissive, which is a part of an alternative sexual lifestyle. Perfectly fine for two consenting adults. All right. So if that's where you were going with that, Watch Jazzy, do your thing, sis. But the way that the conversation led into that made me think that maybe she was convoluting the two. Because she did talk about how she prefers sex and she prefers to be the submissive woman in the bedroom and these different things. I get it. Outside of the bedroom, in your day-to-day life, is where the conversation started. So that is where I'm going to take the conversation, because I'm not qualified to talk about what nobody's doing in their bedroom other than my own. And I don't bring that online. All right. So I wanted to talk about the dangers of submitting in a way where you as a woman feel that it's your job, or any woman feels that it is your job to be everything to anybody or to read a person's mind. Um, you're setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up. So real quick, because I didn't do an introduction on who I am, for those of you who may be new here, who are like, oh, I just want to hear that conversation. I'm Yaya Smith, wife, mom. I've been coaching women for over 7 years now in the art and science of femininity and how to apply femininity to the areas of your life that matter the most: your inner work, your environment, your home life, your work life, and your relationships. My clients have experienced amazing results and transformations. Their men love me, their children love me, their mothers, their families. They've healed relationships all over their life by understanding their power as a woman. Now, I know I said femininity. I know y'all hearing femininity everywhere. I am not the femininity coach to tell you to go put on a flowy floral dress. Do I like floral dresses? I do. Will I bust a twirl in the middle of Canal Street? I will. However, that is not your femininity. Your femininity is not a performance, nor is it a uniform. It is a power that we have got to know how to wield properly. Submission is a part of that power. Submission is not something that you just give away. One of the things that I've been talking about recently inside of my Feminine Success School community, which is my year-long coaching community, is that we as women find ourselves in the position that we are politically, societally, emotionally, even psychologically, in our relationships, in our communities, because we have been conditioned to submit to everything. We've been conditioned to submit to everything. We've been conditioned to shut up. We've been conditioned to be quiet. And for those of us who are not being quiet, many of us are only fighting for the things that they tell us are worth fighting for. So, in another way, you have submit yourself to the causes that they say are worthy. All right. So submission is not just about being quiet. It's not just about being docile. Some of us are very aggressive. Some of us are very angry, but we're angry at the things that they're putting in front of our face rather than the things that actually matter to us. So, in this conversation with Jazzy and Shan, she said that her job and her she believes that the job of a submissive woman is to respond to that man's every need, to know everything that he needs moment to moment, for him to not have to ask, and you be the one that's willing to show up. Like I said, I've been coaching women almost a decade around this very thing, specifically the burnout that occurs when you are playing step and fetch it for a man or even for your children, because some of us do that. When you are, in the words of my husband, Benson for everybody. One of the things that really stood out to me in this conversation, and it stood out to me from the beginning of the conversation, Jazzy said, I know how to deal with my pain. And this is something I haven't seen any clips of this part. She said, I know how to deal with my pain. I'll go step in the shower and cry and come back and get right to it. That's not dealing with your pain, sis. That's not dealing with your pain. It's not. That is going, and when you get a cut, and you go and you put like you go and grab something, might be a towel or some tissue or paper towel or something, and you put pressure on it and you just stop the bleeding real quick, but you haven't cleaned it off, you haven't treated the wound or anything, you just stopped the bleeding real quick. That's what that is. That's not dealing with your pain. So she said, I know how to deal with my pain. I know how to deal with myself. Basically saying, I don't need him to do anything for me because I know how to deal with me. So, and I wouldn't even say a Band-Aid, Gabby, because at the end of the day, in order to get to the Band-Aid, you have to clean the wound or you're going to get infected. Okay. Really, that crying in the shower is just putting some pressure on it real quick to get the bleeding to stop. But what if you never clean it? What if you never get to the cleaning part? Then that wound just keeps opening back up and it might hurt worse the next time. Whoo, Lord, we're not gonna get to preaching tonight. We're not gonna get to preaching. All right. But so the conversation goes on, and that really stuck out to me because so many women feel that way. You feel like, I don't need to stop for me. I don't need to worry about me. Oh, don't worry about me. I can handle me. I got me. I'll take care of me. What do you need? And we do it with clients, we do it with spouse, we do it with children, we do it with family that we may be caregivers for. I spent the top of this year being a caregiver, and that was a part of me saying, absolutely not. Let me back up from everything, was realizing how easy it is for us to push ourselves to the side to take care of everyone else. So she goes through this and she's like, you better know the dance, whatever that dance is in your household. If it's making sure the dishes are done, making sure the food is cooked, making sure the laundry is done, making sure his bag is packed, making sure all of these things. And so Plan asked her, "You're giving all of this. You're doing all of these things. What are you getting in return? What are you receiving?" And the pause told the story. Silence tells the story. The hesitation told the story. And what came up was and I love that Jazzy was honest about the fact that she does not know how to ask for what she wants. We as women, especially Black women in this society, have gotten to the point where we believe that if we can take care of all of our bills, if we don't need money from a man, if we don't need him to buy us things or do things for us, then we don't really need a man. We just want a man. And the reason that we've gotten there is because we don't understand our own emotional needs. We don't understand our spiritual needs. We don't understand our mental needs. We don't understand our psychological needs. We don't know those things about ourselves because all of our time is spent climbing the ladder, building a legacy, which is a worthy goal. But then what? Then what? Now you're in a relationship and you're giving and giving and giving and giving and hoping that something that you get back shows you what you need so you can know what to ask for. And that's why we say, oh, whatever you did to get me, you need to keep doing to keep me. And I get that because you do want consistency and what you really desire is improvement. But the thing is, that thing that he did to get you was something that was shown to you that you hadn't seen before. And so now that thing showed you, okay, this is what I'm worth. So if he does this, that lets me know he still thinks that I'm worthy. So what that kind of creates is this situation where you're giving and giving and giving all the various ways that he needs, because men have no problem stating their needs. But all he has to do is one thing. That thing might be buy you roses. If he just keeps buying you roses, he's good. He looks like a good man. Never mind the fact that your emotional needs are not being met. Never mind the fact that your spiritual needs are not being met. Never mind the fact that you're not communicating in the way that you really want to. And so that's just something to think about, knowing what your needs are, and knowing how to communicate those needs. And I love that she was willing to say, I really don't know how to communicate my needs. How do you ask your husband for what you need? And how does he respond to that? So yeah, that really stood out for me. Another thing that I think the spirit just like whoosh, as soon as I watched it, what I realized is, if you don't know why you are submitting, if it's just, oh, I just like being a submissive woman. That was me at one time, so I get it. If you don't know why you're submitting, if you don't know the purpose of submission, you will submit to the wrong person and you'll submit the wrong things. And you will end up breaking your own heart. Literally, let me tell you, let me just read to y'all what dropped down in my good old spirit. That is how good women jade themselves. I was like, what? That is how you jade yourself. When we say, oh, I'm jaded. Oh, I'm jaded. Well, sometimes we do it to ourselves. And yes, 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 100%. They should appreciate all that you're giving and all that you're doing, and they should reciprocate and all these other things. But should is a fairy tale. All right. It really is. And so, and many times they don't. And we end up becoming the ones who are jaded because when you submit to a man's lusts and not his mission, you make yourself disposable. I'm going to say that again. When you submit to his lusts, when you are serving his whims, oh, he wants food. He wants his bag packed. He wants sex. He wants whatever have you, but you're not in submission to, nor do you even know your place in his mission, his vision. You make yourself disposable. I'm telling you the truth, okay? And here's why. Because lust is a bottomless pit. Whims and fancies and all the things that he likes, those things are fleeting and they change moment to moment. Especially with a man like Cam who can see another woman tomorrow and now he likes her. A man who is used to feeding that lust monster. It's ever changing. It's always going to be a new thing, especially if, ladies, and I don't know how many of y'all are from the South, okay? But let me just give you a little bit of advice that our aunties down south give us, okay? Jazzies of the world, Shans of the world, who yes, we do need to hear about various different types of relationships and all of these things. But don't get on this internet telling all these women what your men like. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because if submission for you is, I pack his bag and I scratch his back to sleep every night, and I I do the things that he likes in the bedroom, even though I don't like them, I still do them. You just giving your playbook away, boo. You're giving your playbook away, all right? I don't mean to get auntie on y'all, but somebody got to. Somebody got to be auntie, because y'all let Kevin Samuels be uncle out here. God rest his soul. And he got the world just going wild. Okay, the black relationship world specifically. This is not submission. All right, that is not submission. Do not submit to a man until you know your place inside of his mission. Period. All right. He should appreciate you, and you should know that you are appreciated before you give him that gift. Okay. All right. So don't make yourself disposable by submitting to his lusts only. I'm not telling you not to have fun. I'm not telling you not to have pleasure in your relationship or any of those things. However, if all you submit to is his lower nature, you never even reach his heart. You don't have his heart yet, because he has no need to give it to you. No reason at all. All right? And you can't submit your way into a man's heart. I said it. I said it. Go tell your pastor. All right? So, that was what came up for me, and then I also saw where she was saying that there are certain things that he desires and requires sexually that she does not like, but that she does because that's what submissive women do. And when my husband heard that, he was like, but because I think he was thinking about something else. He was like, but is it like, don't they have to get consent? I was like, oh God, yes. But that's not what they're talking about there, husband. But the same thing goes, when you decide to give yourself to someone else's authority, make sure it's someone who cares enough about your body, about your well being, about whether or not you're in pain. All of those things matter. All of those things matter. If a man will put his lust over your comfort, over your pain, ma'am, go get your shit back. Go get your shit back. Go take your power back now and leave. Walk away. Because when you show a person that they have that kind of power over you, you break your own heart. You break your own heart. You break your own heart. And submission is way too big of a gift to just be giving away. We desire that so much, especially I find powerful women. We desire submission so much because God has given us, the Spirit sent us here with such a powerful gift, skill, legacy to steward, that we desire someone who can walk alongside us with that and who can shepherd it and just give us that space to be creative, give us that space to be safe in our creativity, safe in our power, safe in our, and whatever it is that we were sent here to do. If you submit yourself to his lust, you will never have a safe space for you. You'll never have a safe space for you because his lust will always be driving the car. And you'll always be running after, oh, is the next girl prettier? Oh, is this girl gonna do more things for him? Oh, is this girl gonna not only pack his bag, but she gonna buy him a bag and whatever. Like all of the things that do not provide space for you to focus on your mission, to focus on what you were sent here to do as a woman. All right. Let's see what y'all are saying though. Gabby says they want to be popular more than genuinely happy. And I find that that is true. The reason that I'm coming, well, I'll keep that up actually, because that speaks to why I'm going live anyways. What I realized, because I was thinking about just riding off into the sunset. I really was, total transparency. And I've been seeing a lot, I think right after I started this break that I've been on, I saw Kevin Samuels passed away really soon after that. And a lot of the manosphere went crazy. A lot of women were going crazy. People were like, what do you think? You need to speak on it. And I just really didn't want to. But what I realize now, after taking some time to breathe, is that people want to see really genuinely happy examples of relationships and folks who are willing to talk about it. Sometimes we see the pictures and that's all great, but if the only people that we have out here using their voice toward Black love, Black marriage, relationships, healthy relationships are very popular people who are not in really healthy relationships, and it's so much of that I'm seeing where the general public doesn't realize that people are faking it. They don't realize that people really are not happy. They don't realize that the vacation photos and the designer photos and the couple family photos, all these things are not real. Then you start to model yourself after unhealthy examples and you start to measure yourself against people who are literally putting on a show for you. So I said, it can look different. I can step into it differently, but I cannot just be silent. I can't just not tell people the truth, and show people what real really looks like. I mean, this is real frizz, y'all. This is real frizz. There are real mosquitoes right outside my door. Like this is real life. My kids are really gone to bed right now. My husband is really having to lay my 4-year-old daughter down because he really spoiled her. And like, this is real life, And people need examples of that. People need to know that it exists, that it's possible, and that it doesn't have to look perfect. Like, it's not perfect. It's not. I actually would have loved for my husband to come on and give some of his perspective, but again, he is on lockdown right now with the 4-year-old until she goes to sleep. But I see Ty says, girl, because I know you know. And y'all don't have a baby girl yet, Ty. Listen, when they say baby girls have their dads wrapped around their fingers, they really do. And it is so funny. He came home today and he was hugging me. He was like, oh man, I missed you. Oh goodness. And And our daughter walked up to him. She was like, Dad, I hurt my knee. I hurt my knee. Just so she could get his attention back. But I digress. Um, those are my thoughts though. When it comes to submission, it's important that you know who to submit to and how to submit. You have to realize that if you're going to measure your submission based on a quote unquote biblical standard, God never told a woman to submit to everybody. God never said submit to your boyfriend and that's how you prove to him that you're wife material. Hell no. And y'all gonna get a whole lot more cussing on here because I'm tired of trying to filter my speech for this online space, and y'all be cussing in y'all regular life. So get it how you live. But absolutely not. Stop giving away submission to these little boys out here. Okay. I don't care if he's a grown man, he's a little boy. All right. If you don't know how to submit to, if you don't know how to submit and who to submit to, and also what to submit to, you're not submitting to his mission by ignoring your own needs to fulfill his needs. Because if a healthy and whole, well loved woman is not a part of his mission, step out of the picture. You just gracefully remove yourself from the situation. It does not have to be this, I need to convince him and he needs to reciprocate and all these other things. No, no, you don't need to do that. Release it from your heart and move forward. Move forward to someone who has a mission. You know, if we continue in this way, y'all, honestly and truly, we'll have another generation of men who do not know how to be held accountable. Another generation of women who do not know how to hold men accountable, who do not know how to ask for their needs, who are burning out and damn near dying because you are giving your heart. Why? I'm not about to go into a rant, but I've been saying this since I started this journey of feminine success. Black women are dying from heart disease earlier than anybody else. We are having heart attacks. We are dealing with all kinds of issues. All of that is not about what you're eating. Some of it, some of it is about what you are allowing into your life, what you are keeping in your life, who you are allowing to break your heart, who you are allowing to even hold your heart. Okay? Take your shit back. Like, take all of it back. This is not the time to have your heart in the hands of a man that you hope will love you, that you hope will reciprocate. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not putting your money into investments that, well, I hope you're not, into places that you hope. You are taking your time, you are researching your investments. If you are that smart with your money, be that smart with your heart. All right. Um, and then what also came up was, sometimes we date ourselves because we're over giving to men who never have the intention to hold us. To submit means that I am giving my power to you. What we are working on together, it's like we have one big pot. Everybody put their power in. And this is why it's important that you commit to your husband, not just a man. If that is not your husband, you can be in a beautiful, healthy relationship with someone and still not be submissive and still have your own everything, your own space for yourself, your own identity for yourself, your own mission, your own focus for yourself, until that man has committed to holding responsibility for your submission. When you give a man your submission, that makes him responsible for your goals, your dreams, your purpose, and making sure he gives you room to get those things accomplished. That means he is responsible for making sure that the soil that you are planted in as a woman is healthy. You cannot submit to a husband as a wife and your husband doesn't know your needs, because by the very nature of the word husband, his job is to take care. A husband is a steward, is a manager. That is what the literal definition of the word husband is. So you're not submissive if he's not husbanding you. And if you are submissive to someone who is not husbanding you, you are literally abusing yourself. You are abusing yourself. You are misusing yourself. You are taking advantage of yourself. So I said I wasn't gonna get, y'all know how I can get. I know how I can get. And I love that about myself. Okay. I'm very passionate about what I have been sent here to do. I am very, very, very passionate about us loving each other well. And that starts with loving ourselves well. We do not get into a healthy future as Black people, healthy families, healthy legacies, healthy generational wealth by submitting to every nigga that comes along. My bad if I ain't supposed to say that on YouTube or whatever have you. I'll edit it out in the post. But and that's the kind of behavior that man is giving. That's his behavior. It ain't about color, it's about behavior. And his behavior is the behavior of, okay? And we don't get to health by giving ourselves back-to-back heartbreak that now you got to focus your energy on healing from this MF. Now you got to focus your energy on overcoming the spiritual baggage he's left with you, when you could be moving on to what really matters and focusing on what really matters. We don't get to a healthy future that way. We don't get to a healthy future that way. And so I'm very passionate about that, because there are some amazing men out here. There are some amazing women out here. And for us to stay amazing for each other, to have sustainable amazingness, to have sustainable success together, we have got to take care of ourselves. That doesn't mean just feeding yourself healthy food and working out. That means taking care of your heart too. That means taking care of your mind. That means taking care of your spirit. And who you give yourself to, who you give your power to, is a part of your spiritual maintenance. So I'm not going to keep y'all up all night, because I don't want to be up all night. All right. With that, let me go through some of y'all messages real quick, some of y'all's comments. Ty says, hi, get it how you live. You know, it is what it is, Ty. That's my friend in real life. You know I'm from the South. We are graceful and we have all the Southern hospitality in the world. And you're going to get these cuss words because we got whiskey in our teacup sometimes. Okay, our girls are big girls now, but he's still wrapped. Exactly. I thought it would. I'm thinking in my mind, I think I'm tricking myself into thinking that once she grows up a little bit, it'll be different, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And then she looks just like him, so I don't think so. Okay. Ty says, whew, that's it. That's the message. That is all, folks. Listen, I hope that y'all have had an amazing time here with me. I hope that I've opened your eyes to seeing things in a way that really supports you and helps you heal, helps you grow as a woman. I'm open to discussing more. I'll be on live more, but it'll be more on YouTube, because y'all can always come back and watch the replays on YouTube. Also, YouTube just feels a little bit more freed up for me. I don't have a time limit and all that. What else? That's really it. I am not giving any business updates right now because I haven't made many decisions. I'm just kind of allowing myself to feel, allowing myself to build this business in the way that I always have, which is from a very spirit-led place. Taking a lot of time to play and enjoy life right now. Bringing that back to my clients, which is amazing. And I am still doing the master training. So there's that. Until I announce that I'm completely done with that will be available. And the retreat is coming up at the end of the year. So that'll be announced soon as well. I'm ready for that. I'm thinking I've pretty much decided that it'll be here in New Orleans, but something in me, I might actually just do two retreats because something in me is like, we should do a retreat internationally now. So I kind of got to listen. I got to listen. But with that, look for those announcements. If you have thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments. I'll be on YouTube commenting back with you guys. So let me know what you think about submission. What has submission been for you in your relationship? Have you ever been in a submissive relationship? Do you desire to be in a submissive relationship? I started my relationship with the ideal of submission, but over the years we have really grown and expanded in our definition of what that looks like. Everybody in the relationship is submissive over here, to whoever has the solutions at the time. We are submissive to the mission, both of us. So that's kind of how we do it. That's how we rock. That's how we're going to keep rocking. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. I love having conversations with y'all. With that, I'm going to say goodnight. Peace, y'all.